Hello and good morning. Now, we absolutely think Thursdays are special, and I'll tell you why. You could say it's like a runner-up day to a really exciting weekend, that day that you take stock of whatever is left in your week's target, and by this, I mean you'll find out if you're really on track or not. Are you going to cash a check today? Can you get to the bank and get some change? Have you stocked up the house? Anyhow, we're here to help you guide your way through to the end of the week. My name is Ttiilayo Oyinsan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a beautiful Thursday morning, and hopefully we'll give you that spring you need in your step so that you can get your goals. Hey, with strict adherence to all the health guidelines we give you every single day, by God's grace, we will overcome COVID-19. And that means you need to keep washing your hands. You need to keep using the alcohol-based sanitizer. You need to make sure you keep a social distance. Please, I've been seeing so many people standing too close together. We are telling you that it is real. COVID-19 is real, and you need to maintain social distance. Please stream this show live if you need to move anywhere around. You can go to our website, tvcentertainment.tv, or you can visit Facebook at TVC Connect. Now, remember to use our hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC when it comes to comments, contributions, prayer messages, funny pictures, even gifts if we don't mind. We want to see all of that. We want to connect with you every single morning. And don't forget, our app remains available for download at no cost at all. Just visit the Android or iOS store to make sure you download the app and watch us from your mobile devices from anywhere in the world. So what will you be watching today? Let's see what we're starting off with. Yes, as always, we start off with Chude Jidonwo's wise words from Daily Vulnerables.
Blocked list on my Instagram and my Twitter. And when I used to be on WhatsApp, my WhatsApp as well. I always say that people forget that
it's been a while, but we have an author in the building, that will be talking to us. Thriving in Loss, Lishala Ezekiel will be joining us for a chat on her book. Then we bring you a brand new recipe. You know now, when Chef Uncle V gets into that his fine boy chef mode, you know that you're going to be cooking something delicious. Yeah, this weekend we'll try out some of those recipes. And hey, there's also a chat that's going to be happening with digital innovator Adeboale Owoseni. Now, that's our tech discussion for today, and we'll be discussing digital resilience in adversity a little later on the show. Being a Thursday, we're all about art on Thursdays, and on that display today we have Ambassador of She Upcycling Creative Association, Awobusui Abayomi, joining us. And finally, we'll be joined by producer, composer, and singer Adefemi Ebenezer, aka Olakira. Welcome to the show. Well, I'm going to be expecting another host very, very soon by the name of Mike Messi-Keno, and he's going to be joining us on the couch as always, and he'll probably be making us laugh a little as well. So that's something you need to look forward to. When it comes to art display, Thursdays is always a great day to tune in to Wake Up Nigeria. If you know anyone who has a piece of art, an artwork that you think needs exposure, you think we should celebrate, you know, it's really good to celebrate the arts, and I don't think enough shows are doing enough of that on TV. On Wake Up Nigeria, we're going to make sure we put those amazing artists out there in the best way possible. Also, there are quite a few authors who have come up with some very good books that you might decide to read. Now, we have always had the book review segment on Wake Up Nigeria on Thursdays, and we're reaching out to all the Nigerian authors out there who would like to maybe come on the show, even if it is via Skype for now, and talk about their works. So just make sure you use our hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. We'll be checking out that hashtag to find out the artists that you would love to celebrate, and of course those amazing authors. So soon enough, we will be resuming our live performances in the studio soon enough, eventually. But we would love to know, in the past few months, how many amazing new artists have sprung up from the woodworks? Who are the up-and-coming guys in your community that you'd like to see right here on Wake Up Nigeria set? We would love to see them as well. You can always tag us with our hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC, and we'll see if we can invite them eventually to the studio. Take note, I'm saying eventually because we don't know when we're going to start, but at least we'll have you and your amazing new artists on the list. Now, it's about time for me to take the news update right now, and the Lagos State Ministry of Justice facilitated the amicable settlement of debt-related matters totaling 1.2 billion naira among residents through mediation in the last 1 year. But it says it had to review the year's budget assumptions to reflect current realities brought about by COVID-19. These and more information were revealed at the ministerial press briefing to mark the first anniversary of the Sanwo-Olu administration.
The Lagos Ministry of Justice prides itself as the largest law chamber in sub-Saharan Africa, having more than 450 counsels spread across its vast legal services. Among the other successes recorded were the settlement of 350 out of 1,000 petitions on the forceful takeover of landed properties in the state. Tragic cases of rape have recently been reported in Edo and Oyo states. A minor was also recently sexually violated severally in Jigawa state. Now, the Attorney General of Lagos wants residents to utilize the services of the state's domestic and sexual violence response team when in need.
The state is going to take care of you, because most of the time these people, because of the trauma they go through, they either don't want to report or they don't want to prosecute. They have a 24/7 helpline, and they also provide shelters for victims of domestic abuse, and also provide legal counsel. They also ensure prosecution or any act of violence on our women.
Lagos is also on a drive to decongest correctional centers in the state, with 227 inmates recently freed. It is also set to discontinue about 400 cases at the magistrate and high courts.
Before the end of the year, these projects actually give promise.
The government also says it thrived in its revenue generation bid, scoring 6 points above its target, but adds that due to COVID-19, it's reordering its 1.68 trillion naira budget for the year.
The truth is that we have not invested enough in health, and there's no better time to do that than now. And that is why you see that our budget going forward is health focused, is education focused, putting our monies where our mouth is.
It's our expectation as we open up operations and we open up activities in Lagos that we shall see a lot of drive towards the execution. And it gives you an indication as to where we are going, right? And the areas, infrastructure, platforms which we will be delivering to the people of Lagos.
Lagos has also organized a Snacks for Tots school feeding program for children in creche and from primaries 4 to 6.
We are going to look for meaningful Lagosians, NGOs to partner with us on this particular project. So once that started, we are going to launch it big, just to let you know that we are working on making sure all primary school children in Lagos State have something in their stomach every morning.
The 5th largest economy in the world has also reversed the land use charge rate, lower than the increase in 2018, but upheld the valuation. Kemi Foladeyemo, TVC News, Lagos.
Preparations are in top gear ahead of the resumption of flight operations at the Port Harcourt International Airport. Barring any unforeseen developments, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria believes domestic flights will commence on the 21st of June. Correspondent Uche Okoro reports.
Normal activities in the aviation sector ground to a halt on the 23rd of March. Since then, international and local flights have been limited to essential services. But after a review of the coronavirus pandemic, government says commercial flights of the Port Harcourt International Airport and 4 others in the country can now resume. Safety, however, remains top priority amidst efforts to get the economy back on track.
We are doing a new SOP to ensure that the safety of our staff, the safety of passengers, the safety of other stakeholders in the airport. And one thing we intend to do also, based on our headquarters directive, and I'm sure other airports are meant to work in that capacity also in that direction. We are meant to prepare a canopy before the terminal building, whereby some processing will be done before such passenger will get to the terminal building, to ensure that whosoever is getting to the terminal building, to the best of our judgment, they are free to fly.
Ahead of the resumption date of 21st of June, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria is expected to release an updated standard operating procedure to reflect the current reality. The document will not just regulate activities of the airport, but also that of the airlines.
The fly public, I'm sure they are hungry to fly, but at the same time too, I can tell them that the airport is safe, and by extension, the aircraft too is safe to fly. Otherwise, the regulator will not give us a clean bill to operate, because this is a highly regulated industry.
New social distancing measures at the airport include floor markings indicating where passengers are to stand while on a queue. A new seating arrangement has also been put in place to create spaces between passengers at the waiting lounge. The federal government says it is time to reopen the airport, and the airport authorities say they are ready to comply. But the question is, how safe do prospective passengers feel to board the plane again? We'll see in just a few weeks' time. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port.
And that's it on the news update for this hour. We'll be taking a quick break and return shortly with sports. But I also have the newspaper headlines right here with me. The papers came really early today. A big shout out to all the vendors out there making it happen. The roads are not easy. Let's start with the Punch newspaper, shall we? And a very sad headline starting us off at this point. And it says here, another student raped, killed in Oyo. Ekiti hawker defiled. Amnesty tells, or rather asks, President to declare rape national emergency. Meanwhile, Aisha Buhari seeks speedy action on cases. Atiku Dabiri Ewera react. Kogi commissioner under investigation for assault, rape, says police. At the top of the page there, it says here, workers protest picketing, ask government to clear 17 billion contract debts. Suspected herdsmen killed 22 in Benue and South Kaduna attacks. Worship centers, JNI says PTF guidelines difficult. Catholic faults continued closure. Swiftly moving to the bottom of the page here, it says Army arrests 24 bandits in Ondo Forest. 2 health workers among 5 Ekiti coronavirus cases. FEC approves 1.6 billion for second Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport's runway. Family demands justice over radio presenter's death in church during childbirth. And Oshomole should not be involved in Edo government primary, according to Obaseki. Moving on to the Nation newspaper here, and it says churches, mosques open in Kwara, Oshun, Kano, Benue. Islamic Council urges caution as Khan faults advisory to 55 years old and above to avoid worship centers. Some of the conditions here are stated: 1 hour church services only, 20 minutes Islamic sermon prayers, attendance to be 1/3 center, that's 1/3 center capacity, 65-year-old and above to worship at home. Social distancing must be observed, and of course wearing of face masks compulsory, and Muslims to perform ablution at home. On the number of COVID-19 cases worldwide, it says here, so far 6,523,294 cases have been recorded. Meanwhile, 385,145 people have died. So far in Nigeria, 11,166 people have recorded to have the virus, and it says here 315 people have died. Moving to the top of the page here, it says airlines get set for June 21st flight resumption. 5 airports cleared. Federal government okays 148 billion naira refund to Osun Ondo, 3 others. Izeyamu, 4 others to battle Obaseki, governor to chair, keep off. And I'll wrap with this one. Orji Kalu back home, and it shows a photo story of him as well on the cover. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation. Let's see if we can take The Guardian newspaper right now. It says here, bandits intensify strikes as security chiefs brief Buhari. Fresh attack kills 9 in Kaduna community. Police need reforms, restructuring, not reorganization. Troops hit top Boko Haram militants, 72 others. And it also says here, outrage over cut in health education budgets. PDP, others oppose 27 billion naira for NAS complex renovation. CUPP, CDD, others decry approval for 27 billion naira, or rather $1 billion loan. I'll wrap with this one. Why Nigeria may record more coronavirus cases, according to the NCDC, others. And in the photo stories here, if you can see this, it's protesters scuffling with police at the entrance to Downing Street during an anti-racism demonstration in the UK, in London there, after George Floyd, an unarmed black man, died after a police officer knelt on his neck during an arrest in Minneapolis. And it's time for us to take a quick break right here on Wake Up Nigeria. We'll be back with quite a bit more. You need to stay close.
I used to have a very vibrant blocked list on my Instagram and my Twitter. And when I used to be on WhatsApp, my WhatsApp as well. I always say that people forget that people don't really use social media well. They use certain buttons. They use like button, they use comment button, they use scroll function, they use the DM function. But they forget about the blocked function and the mute function and the unfollow button. All of these buttons are all there for you to use. If somebody is making a comment on your page that you don't like and you don't want, what are you doing engaging with that person in a marathon of insulting comments? I highly suspect that's what the block button is there for. If you're following somebody who is spending time sobbing you, I figure that's what the unfollow button is there for. If you have a person who you like, but the person is suffering from temporary madness, so the person is posting things that you don't like to see or doing things that you don't want to engage with, but the person is a close friend of yours, and so you don't want the emotional drama of blocking or unfollowing, I think that's what the mute button is there for. The bottom line is that you have a lot of tools available to you for your life. In fact, the blocked unfollow and mute buttons are not just for Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. They're for all the ways in your life that you engage with other human beings.
Thank you so much for that one, Trude. Yeah, negative comments on social media is a very, very big deal. And you have to have a kind of filter. So my strategy as a filter is to only follow people that are of interest to me and that I know in future will have my interests at heart. If there is someone who gives out negative comments and opinions that you just don't agree with, you don't have to follow everyone just because some of your friends are following them. And what they say about your circle also now includes your social media circle. In some countries, when you're looking for a job, they go through the people you're following on social media, believe it or not, and they believe that sort of crafts your mindset. So you need to really think about that in future. A big shout out to friend of the house, John Boyega. Now, he's been trending on social media for a particular reason. He was part of a protest yesterday in the UK, and even though it did become a little bit of a scuffle yesterday, John Boyega took a megaphone and started speaking out for his rights and the rights of so many other black people. Of course, this is all an aftermath of after the death of George Floyd, who was killed in Minneapolis in the United States. A police officer kneeling on his neck for over 8 minutes. I can't, you know, it's almost unbelievable when you think about it. And if you are squeamish, don't seek the video out. It'll just make you upset and angry. And upset and angry is definitely what John Boyega was yesterday. He had a huge crowd around him. He had his Black Power sign up in the air, and he was speaking his mind. Now, there were a lot of people that were concerned that being an actor, he might be, you know, taking a side. He might be sidelined in not Hollywood because of the fact that he has become, in a sense, an activist with that action he took yesterday and a few days before. But there are a lot of people that are, you know, really siding with him and saying, you know what, even if they don't want to employ you as an actor, we will work with you as a producer. You know, we'll work with you on your next projects, and so on and so forth. There's a lot happening all around the world, and I would love it if you could, you know, just take a little bit of time, go through the happening things around the world and see how you can also make your mark. A big shout out also to Barack Obama, who spoke for the very first time yesterday night. It was actually yesterday afternoon in America, but yesterday night for us. And he did speak about making the government uncomfortable. And he used that word very carefully. He said he appreciates the fact that those peaceful protesters, in quote, peaceful, are doing what they can to, you know, try and make a change. And I think it was very, very impactful. It did feel like the president was back, even bigger and better. And he was just so calm and chilled. And it just felt really great to see Obama speak again. No teleprompter, no one handing him scripts, just speaking straight from the heart. Now, there is something they say, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Okay, let's say to a person's heart, not just a man's heart. Yeah, a person's heart. The way to my heart is also my stomach, and I love to find out great places to eat in and around Lagos. Now, before the lockdown began, I had started my Chronicles of a Foodie, and I was going around Nigeria, figuring out where the best places to eat are. And if you do know a really great restaurant, somewhere in your neighborhood, somewhere they have something very unique, invite us over. We'll come and see what exactly they can create, and they'll show us how they make it and make it so special indeed. So yes, let's take another trip on Chronicles of a Foodie. Yes, it's lunchtime at TVC, and you know what that means? That means it's time for me to take another trip on Chronicles of a Foodie. As always, I've been doing my research. I've been trying to find out the best places to eat in Nigeria, and I think I found one you would be very interested in. It's not too far away from here, but I hope you'll tag along for the ride. All right, as you can see, there's been a little bit of traffic, not too much, but we've been able to thankfully circumvent the routes in Lagos to find the Collage restaurant. So the Collage restaurant is inside the Radisson Hotel, and it's along Isaac John in GRA in Ikeja. Now, someone told me that if you go to this particular restaurant, you're going to be there for a long time. Why? Because you're going to be eating and eating and eating some more. I hear the chef is such a friendly person that you just want to keep coming back to this restaurant. I also heard that the pictures of the food are going viral online these days. Well, we'll soon find out as we're almost there. Just a few more minutes and we'll be at our destination. Okay, so I did a quick search on Google about the Radisson Hotel and the Collage restaurant in the hotel, and the array of food is mouth-watering. In fact, there was just so much to choose from. I don't even know what we're gonna see when we get there. I know that the chef has been informed that we'll be there soon, and he's gonna be preparing something extra special just for us. I'm so glad you decided to follow us on today's journey. Once again, you're on Chronicles of a Foodie. We are here finally at the Collage restaurant in the Radisson Hotel in Ikeja. So what we have now is the opportunity to taste some of their really, really great food, meet the chef, and find out about these amazing facilities that they have. It's gonna be an interesting day. And I can't wait to taste the food. Let's go in, shall we? And it's a beautiful place, if you ask me. All right, so I'm finally in the kitchen. I got my chef's hat on and we're about to start cooking. Chef Gaitan is here. Woo! Okay, so look at those ingredients. Wow, wow, wow. We have to get to work, people. We have to get to work.
We are making grilled giant prawns. So here's the prawns. Green pepper, tomato, hot chili, the Spanish, the spinach leaf, then lemon garnishing, all for the presentation of the plate. This is brandy for making the sauce. It's still up. So here we have the fried rice here, ready-made fried rice, and spider. It's made from spaghetti.
All right, chef, you look so set to get this done. I'm excited already and my stomach is rumbling. Hopefully it's not going to take too long, but I trust you. Chef Gaitan has got me covered. I'm going to go and have a drink while he gets to work. Kitchen I was so excited about all those ingredients I was seeing. You need to stay close right there. I'll be showing you exactly what that meal looked like after the break. A very good morning to you once again. It's always an exciting time right here on the show, so you need to stand by for that potpourri of excitement that we've prepared for you. Now, variety, they say, is the word we go by, and it's exactly what we've lined up for you today. You need to just make sure you stay right there to enjoy every bit of it. Now, these times indeed are tough, but you know what they say? Tough times never last, only tough people do. And remember, you need to protect me as I protect you. So what do we have here for protection? We have our masks. Yes, we have that. And we have our hand sanitizer. Yes, everywhere we go, we need to have those with us, even as we pick up with the activities that are, picking up all around the country. We need to make sure we go about earning a living safely. Remember to observe all social distancing rules and wash your hands as often as you can. My name is Ttiilayo Oyinsan. I'm so pleased to meet you, and I would love it if you could stay tuned right there with us throughout the show. If you need to move, you can stream the show live on tvcentertainment.tv or on Facebook at TVC Connect. And the TVC app also remains available for you to download. If you haven't downloaded it by now, what are you waiting for? It's free. Just go to the Android and iOS stores and you'll be able to watch us from anywhere in the world. Now, there is a virtual book chat that'll be happening right here on the show. Thriving in Loss is the name of the book. Lishala Ezekiel is the name of the author. And then we move on as Chef Belinda is joining us today. She has a brand new recipe just for you, and she'll be sharing it with us very soon. Then after that, it's tech, and for that, digital innovator Adeboale Olwoseni will be here, discussing online with us the digital resilience in adversity. Then it's on to art display. We'll be displaying a couple of artworks from a member of the She Up Cycling Creative Association, Awobusui Abayomi. And then we'll be taking some of your comments off social media. So make sure you keep them coming. And lastly, we'll be having a chat with singer, composer, and songwriter Adefemi Ebenezer, aka Olakira. Welcome back to the show. Now, it's been fun so far. We're going to have a few guests pop in very, very soon. But I did go online quite a bit yesterday evening. And it was interesting that I did. There's something called the Big Brother reunion happening. And it's definitely been taking over the social media space. And it's interesting because all the old trends from basically this time last year, they seem to be popping up again. The same names, same faces, but all maybe a little more mature. Some of them a little more graceful, some of them a little more dramatic. You know what I mean? Now, it is showing online that the individuals in the Big Brother house last year are still making waves, and they're making things happen. If you get the chance to check it out, I think maybe you should, because it's really fun to see all the tweets going back to back. So that is on a lighter note. There's still quite a few other things happening online that are not as light as that. Of course, there are still a lot of protests happening in the United States. In fact, all over the world, people are standing in solidarity to say Black Lives Matter. And there, of course, in Nigeria, there are a lot of people asking for justice for Uwa and justice for Tina. So many very pertinent issues happening all over the world. Maybe you should check them out and get up to date. Speaking of up to date, it's almost time for me to take the news update. And of course, we'll still have the sports update and the newspaper headlines in turn as well. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control reported 348 new cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total to 11,166. Of the 348 new cases, Lagos recorded the highest number with 163 cases, followed by the FCT with 76 cases. Ebonyi recorded 23 new cases, Rivers 21, Delta, Nasarawa, and Niger each had 8 new cases. Enugu recorded 6 new cases, while Bauchi, Edo, Ekiti, Ondo, and Gombe each reported 5 cases. Benue recorded 4 new cases, Ogun 2, and Osun, Plateau, Kogi, Anambra each reported 1 new case. So far, 3,329 people have been discharged and 315 people have died of COVID-19 related complications. For more developments on the global pandemic, more than 6.4 million cases of COVID-19 have been reported worldwide, including at least 385,000 deaths. In the US, more than 1.8 million coronavirus cases have been recorded, including at least 107,000 deaths. Brazil and Mexico both announced a record number of virus-related deaths in a single day. Mexican authorities reported more deaths on Wednesday than in any other day since the COVID-19 pandemic began. 1,092 coronavirus-related fatalities were identified in 24 hours, pushing the death toll in the country to over 11,700. In Brazil, the health ministry reported 1,349 new COVID-19 fatalities in the previous 24 hours, raising the total to 32,548. The ministry also recorded 28,633 new confirmed cases Wednesday, for a total of 584,016. Back in Lagos now, the Lagos State Ministry of Justice facilitated the amicable settlement of debt-related matters totaling 1.2 billion naira among residents through mediation in the last 1 year. But it says it had to review the year's budget assumptions to reflect current realities brought about by COVID-19. These and more information were revealed at the ministerial press briefing to mark the first anniversary of the Sanwo-Olu administration. The Lagos Ministry of Justice prides itself as the largest law chamber in the sub-Saharan Africa, having more than 450 counsel spread across its vast legal operations. Among the other successes recorded are the settlement of 350 out of the total of 1,000 petitions on forceful takeover of landed properties in the state. Tragic cases of rape have been reported in Edo and Oyo states over the past few days, and a minor was recently sexually violated severally in Jigawa state. Unverified reports say at least 2 million Nigerian girls and women experience sexual abuse annually, but the Attorney General of Lagos wants residents to utilize the services of the state's domestic and sexual violence response team when in need. Also, the state is on a drive to decongest correctional centers, with 227 inmates recently freed. It is also set to discontinue about 400 cases at the magistrate and high courts. The government also says it thrived in its revenue generation bid, scoring 6 points above its target, but adds that due to COVID-19, it is reordering its 1.168 trillion naira budget for 2020. Lagos has also organized a Snacks for Thought school feeding program for children at the creche and in primary 4 to 6. Preparations are in top gear ahead of the resumption of flight operations at the Port Harcourt International Airport. Barring any unforeseen developments, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria believes domestic flights will commence on the 21st of June. Disruption of normal activities in the aviation sector began on the 23rd of March. Since then, international and local flights have been limited to essential services. But after a review of the coronavirus pandemic, government says the Port Harcourt Airport and 4 others in the country will now reopen. Safety, however, remains top priority amidst efforts to get the economy back on track. Ahead of June 21st resumption date, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria is expected to release an updated standard operating procedure to reflect the current reality. The document will not just regulate activities of the airport, but also of that of the airlines. New social distancing measures at the airport include floor markings indicating where passengers are to stand while on a queue. A new seating arrangement has also been put in place to create space between passengers in the waiting lounge.
Some processing will be done before such passage.
And that's all we have time for on the news updates for this hour.
Welcome to another edition of Fitness Segments. I am your coach, Classic Benga. Today we're going to be working on our upper bodies. Yes, for the guys, for the girls, you want to burn that upper body fat, you want to keep it trim. This is your routine. We're doing push-ups, decline push-ups, incline push-ups, dips. So stick around, man. This is the dopest of all. So okay, let's go. We're starting with the incline push-up. So I'm using my chair. In case you don't have something like this, you could definitely use your chairs at home. So place both hands on the chair, comfortable. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 7 more, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, that is for the wide grip. Now if you want to do a closer grip, all you need to do is bring your hands closer. So let's do closer grip now. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, that is that for the inclined push-up. If you want to go more reps, trust me, you can go. Okay, so we're gonna be doing decline. I'm placing my legs on my chair with a wide grip first. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, remember our close grip again. Place both hands very close to each other. Okay. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remember, it is okay to rest in between sets because I know it can be very difficult. Okay, so now we're going to be doing dips. Dips is good for your tricep. It also works on your biceps, and of course your quads are going to feel it. All right, so let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, by now your arms are supercharged. If you want to do some more, I would advise you rest in between sets. Remember to always rest, breathe easy, drink lots of water. So one more routine before we go, yeah? Nice. Okay, so this routine is basically simple. It's called incline planks. So I'm just going to be doing 20 seconds with my incline planks, and then we'll call it a day. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, that's it. By now you can say I'm already sweaty. So definitely I've been working. So do it like that, and of course you're going to burn those body fat. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned. I'll see you next time. Bye.
There's been so many things happening all over the world. People are writing books about things that happen all the time. Someone who's written a very powerful piece is Lishala Ezekiel. Now, Lishala Ezekiel has been writing articles on widowhood for quite a while, and she became a widow, which is what started it, and she provides mentorship and support to the women around her, and especially enjoys research, counseling, and writing. Now, she has joined us this morning on Book Chat. Hello, good morning. She's here.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Now, she's here to talk about her book, Thriving in Loss. You're very welcome to the show. Oh, I can hear a little friend in the background there. Who's speaking with you? Is someone with you right there? Good morning. Yeah, we appreciate the noises that children make during interviews. It's very homely. Thank you so much for sharing your book with us, Thriving in Loss. Now,
thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about why you decided to start writing articles and then, of course, put together a book of your experiences?
Okay. You know, when something tragic happens to you, you have a choice. You can either flow and then let the trend take you to a better place, or you get to wallow in the pain and then you just forget yourself in the process. So I decided to write the book, Thriving in Loss, to tell people how to deal with pain. Number one, for myself. You know, when my husband died, I faced different things. I lost my memory. So number one thing why I wrote that book was because I needed to document my experience. And then it was easy for me to get used to the idea that he died. Now I was trying to find my way in life because our lives were mashed together, both of us. So when he died, it was not a pill. It was not an easy pill for me to swallow. It was very difficult. And then I needed to put that down to get used to the fact that he was no more around. So of course I started with writing it bit by bit, daily, every day. I wrote it down before I now compile it and then mute it as a book. So I wrote it for myself first, and then for other people. So especially young widows like me who are trying to find their way out of such predicament.
Okay, I have to ask, you said it felt like you were losing your memory. I guess you mean the memories of your husband, memories of your relationship,
yes.
Am I right? And you wanted to have a kind of record of this.
Wanted to what? Say please.
You were hoping to keep some kind of record of your experiences with your husband when he was alive.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Okay,
yes.
So of these things that you would like to remember about your husband, can you give us maybe 2 or 3 that you miss the most about him?
Samson Ezekiel was his name. He was a very loving man, very responsible to his family, responsible to God, responsible to everyone around him. You know, he made sure that my joy was his priority. I never lacked anything emotionally, financially, spiritually. He was there. He was like my backbone. Of course, when you look to the front, I see him. And when I look behind me, I see him. So when he was no more, it was very difficult for me to plan my way through out of life. He was loving. In fact, one thing I always remember him for, because he had very many sides of him. But the fantastic thing he did was the fact that when I was pregnant with my first child, you know, when we got married, we didn't have a child on time. We waited for over 3 years. My husband, or my late husband, did not miss a day of my antenatal. He was there. He would pick me to the hospital. Wow. Of course, he would have to go to the office. So he would drop me at the hospital, run around for the documentation of everything, and then tell me to sit and relax for the lecture. And then he'd go back to his office, or went back to his office, and then he would come back to pick me. We did that throughout the 9 months of the pregnancy. Even during delivery, he was there. We didn't tell anybody. Even while I was having complication, I had complication during the pregnancy. He was there. He wasn't the fidgeting type that will know, just shy from responsibility. He was there for me and for his children. Though the second child didn't know him. I was pregnant when he passed away, but he was a very loving father, a caring husband, and a man to the core.
I have to ask you, what, as quickly as possible now, what exactly would you like people to get from your book? What do you think they should take away from reading your book?
To get from?
Your book. Your book.
Oh, okay. The essence of the book is to make it known to people, especially the young widows like me, that trying to find their way, that are in this same predicament, trying to find their way in this new status they just found themselves. The book is a roadmap for them, and then for them to thrive. I can tell them they can thrive through loss and in their loss the same way I have been thriving, and I will still continue to thrive. You know, when my husband passed away, I needed someone to help me, you know, with the road, to tell me that everything will be all right, and then I will be doing fine, and this are what you should do. But sincerely, I didn't really get it. So it was difficult for me to navigate through that loss. It was difficult. I couldn't find my feet.
I have to thank you so much for sharing with us, and I really wish I didn't have to stop you, but we have to take a quick break. But thank you so much for sharing this with us, and really well done, and congratulations on your book. And I have a feeling this book is going to connect with so many women out there. You're very welcome. And with that, we have to take a quick break. There's still quite a bit more to come on Wake Up Nigeria. That was Book Chat. We still have loads more coming your way after this. Now it's about time for one of my favorite parts of the show. Yes, I'm a foodie now, you know I like food, and it's always our pleasure to find you recipes that will do your taste buds good. And we have a brand new one from your favorite chef, Chef Belinda. Watch this.
Hello, I'm Chef Belinda. Today we're going to be making a lovely recipe, and it's a whole grilled chicken stuffed with vegetables. You will like it, I'm telling you. For our vegetables, we have cabbage here, onions, carrots, and red bell pepper, all medium dice, or large dice actually. Then we have basil leaves and lemon and parboiled potatoes. And for the sauce to grill the chicken, we have tomato paste, pepper, salt, seasoning, mashed garlic, ginger, and turmeric. Then we have vegetable oil and mango puree. This is actually optional, but I want to imbibe it into this recipe, and it's very, very lovely. It will have a lovely taste with it. Whole chicken. So we'll start by combining all these ingredients together. That's our tomato paste. This is the pepper, the seasoning, salt, then ginger, garlic, and turmeric. A little oil, of course. Then we'll add our mango puree. So we have our paste mixed, very tasty. Tasted is very, very nice. So now we have to apply it to the chicken. But before we do that, we'll start by adding the oil first. Just pour a little oil over the chicken. Let's do this back in front, yeah. So we start. If you don't mind, you can use your gloves while doing this, but me, I prefer using hands so you can blend into it very well. To be as if you are giving the chicken a bath, a thorough bath. And you keep pouring them. Remember the inside has to be tasty as well, so you grill the inside as well. Then you flip over and do the same. So our chicken has been marinated. If you are not in a hurry, you can leave this for a while, maybe for 1 hour or more, or you can even leave overnight. But when you are leaving overnight, you put in the fridge. But for now, we are stuffing it with our vegetables. We start with the lemon, the cabbage, the carrots. We stuff them properly. The onions, the bell peppers, and the basil leaf. You know this is a herb, so it will give it one very nice flavor when it comes out. Stuff it in, stuff with herbs. So you continue with the vegetables until you have it properly stuffed. Then the potatoes now. Let everything go in and settle. Then after stuffing, you bring in some sauce and pour into the chicken, into the stuffed part. Yes, then you have it filled up like this. Then your remaining vegetables, you can now add them to the side, bit by bit. Onions, carrots, cabbage, potatoes, green pepper, red bell pepper, and carrots. Put them on the side of the dish. You add some sauce at the top. Then a little oil, a little more oil go around it. Sauce on the chicken. Okay, so this is set to go into the oven now. The oven has been preheated, of course, and it will stay for like 1 hour before bringing it out. So till then, I'll see you. So our grilled chicken is set with the stuffed vegetables. Lord, the aroma from this thing alone can fill your tummy. Barely perceiving it, you are satisfied. Lovely dish. I can't but taste this, honestly. Let me start maybe with the potatoes and the juice inside. Oh God, this is good. But it's hot anyway. Oh, heavenly. Try this at home, guys. You will love it.
Oh, goodness me, that chicken looked good. Chef Belinda, thank you so much. Now, when you see food like that, as she said, when you see it is enough to fill you up. And a big shout out to all our chefs that have been working so hard, especially during the lockdown, to make sure that they keep things happening. There are even quite a few other chefs who have even been giving back to their communities. In fact, I think we should get some of the clips of what Chef Mary Jane has been up to. She's been so busy that she's not been able to give us any videos because of what she's been doing. I'll definitely ask the producers to look into that one. Maybe we can show you what she's been up to. Very powerful stuff, and I know you would like to see it. We have quite a lot of things that have been going on online, and one of the main trends is from a friend of the house, John Boyega. Now, it's so interesting that well, not too long ago, he was also here with us in the studio, and you could hear the passion in, you know, his love for what he does, and he always stays true to his word, and he always gets things done. That's him right there when he was right here on the couch with us.
You're finally here.
Finally. Can I give you a high five? Really?
Another high five for you.
Yes.
Thank you. So what's up? What's going on?
I'm good. You know, it's my first official visit to Nigeria, which I'm meeting the media heads and talking to the...
And of course, when he was here with us, he talked about so many things he would love to do, and he did go about achieving quite a lot of them. But one thing we never really thought we would see him do is, you know, be such an activist. And there was a very passionate speech during a demonstration at Hyde Park in the UK yesterday. And he had a megaphone with him. And part of what he said was, you know, he says he's speaking to you from the heart, and he says he doesn't know if he'll still have a career after this, but a lot of people are behind him, and he's talking about defending the race. Black lives have always mattered. We've always been important, he says. We've always meant something. We've always succeeded regardless.
Individual families that are thriving, that are healthy, that communicate, that raise their children in love, have a better rate at becoming better human beings. And that's what we need to create. Black men, it starts with you.
Very powerful stuff. He said, we have always succeeded regardless, and now is the time. I ain't waiting. He kept saying, I ain't waiting. I'm not waiting. He said, we need to defend our black women. We need to defend our black men. You know, there were quite a few tweets and posts about people supporting what he's doing and talking about the fact that he shouldn't be worried about whether his career is going to continue after this, because they would be with him on this particular journey. So if you've not heard of John Boyega before, he is a star from the Star Wars franchise, and he's a Nigerian, and we are completely proud of him. Now, something else that was trending yesterday is President Obama, former President Obama from the US. He made his first speech after the events that led to the death of George Floyd. Now, he was on Zoom yesterday night, and most news networks connected with what he had to say.
Civil disobedience and direct action. This is not a either or. This is a both and. To bring about real change, we both have to highlight a problem and make people in power uncomfortable, but we also have to translate that into practical solutions and laws that can be implemented and we can monitor and make sure we're following up on. In some ways, as tragic as these past few weeks have been, as difficult and scary and uncertain as they've been, they've also been an incredible opportunity.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to get the word out there. And of course, listening to Barack Obama gives not just me, but so many people hope that, you know, America can work again. It was about time they heard from the president. That was a president. Yeah, that's a president right there. We're going to be taking a quick break, but there's still quite a bit to come right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Yes, you guessed it. We're still here, and we still have 45 minutes to spend with you, and you, and we intend to make it count. Now, the world may never really go back to what it used to be, what we used to know, but things are gradually picking up, little baby steps, and we urge you to continue to be conscious of your hygiene and observe all safety rules as you get out there. Thank you so much for being a part of our journey on Wake Up Nigeria. We do this for you. We put in all this work just for you. My name is Ttiilayo Oyinsan, and this show is streaming live on tvcentertainment.tv as well as on your screen right now. And of course, if you need to move around, you could try facebook.com/TVC Connect. We have to go straight to what we have left on the show for you. And we're going to have a discussion with visual artist Awobusuyi Avayomi, someone who's also a member of the She Upcycling Association. Can't wait to talk to her about those pieces. And then our social media time is the time we check out your comments, contributions, prayer messages. How do you like my outfit? We would love to hear from you. I would love it if you could use a hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC as well. And then we'll get chatty with Adefemi Ebenezer, aka Olakira. He's a producer, composer, and singer, and he's gonna be here with us very soon. Yeah, one thing we can say is that people are doing everything they can to make their mark in any way they can, because they've begun to realize all over the world that, life, they say, is short, and we should do everything we can to make sure we spend it well. If you haven't learned something new of recent, learn something new. If there's that book that's just been on the shelf and you haven't read it, it's catching dust, maybe you might want to pick it up and flip through those pages. You never know what you might gain from picking up a book. I'm really appreciative of all the efforts that are being put together for people to be able to speak out now. All these protests, demonstrations, things happening online events, online talks, Obama speaking yesterday. All these are to give people a voice and give them a chance to make up their own minds about how they want their future to be. Now, there are quite a few things that you might need to be aware of, and that's why we bring you the news update every hour. I'll start with this story. Now, it says the Nigeria Center for Disease Control reported 348 new cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total to 11,166. Of the 348 new cases, Lagos recorded the highest number with 163 cases, followed by the FCT with 76. Ebonyi recorded 23 new cases, Rivers 21, Delta, Nasarawa, and Niger also had 8 cases each. Enugu recorded 6 new cases, while Bauchi, Edo, Ekiti, Ondo, and Gombe each reported 5 cases. Benue recorded 4 new cases, Ogun 2, and Osun, Plateau, Kogi, Anambra each reported 1 case each. So far, 3,323, or rather 29 people have been discharged, and 315 people have died from COVID-19 related complications. For developments on the global pandemic, more than 6.4 million cases of COVID-19 have been reported worldwide, including at least 385,000 deaths. In the US, more than 1.8 million coronavirus cases have been recorded, including at least 107,000 deaths. Brazil and Mexico both announced a record number of virus-related deaths in a single day. Mexican authorities recorded more deaths on Wednesday than any other day since the COVID-19 pandemic began. 1,092 coronavirus-related fatalities were identified in 24 hours, pushing the death toll in the country to over 11,700. In Brazil, the health ministry reported 1,349 new cases of COVID-19 fatalities in the previous 24 hours, raising the total to 32,548. The ministry also recorded 28,633 new confirmed cases Wednesday for a total of 584,016. Back in Lagos here, it says the Lagos State Ministry of Justice facilitated the amicable settlement of debt-related matters totaling 1.2 billion naira among residents through mediation in the last 1 year. But it says it had to review the year's budget assumptions to reflect current realities brought about by COVID-19. These and more information were revealed at the ministerial press briefing to mark the first anniversary of Sanwo-Olu administration. The Lagos Ministry of Justice prides itself as the largest law chamber in sub-Saharan Africa, having more than 450 counsel spread across its vast legal operations. Among the other successes recorded were the settlement of 350 out of a total of 1,000 petitions on forceful takeover of landed properties in the state. Tragic cases of rape have been reported in Edo and Oyo states over the past few days. A minor was also recently sexually violated severally in Jigawa State. Unverified reports say that at least 2 million Nigerian girls and women experience sexual abuse annually. But the Attorney General of Lagos wants residents to utilize the services of the state's domestic and sexual violence response team when in need. Preparations are in top gear ahead of the resumption of flight operations in Port Harcourt at the Port Harcourt International Airport. Barring any unforeseen developments, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria believes domestic flights will commence on the 21st of June. Disruption of normal activities in the aviation sector began on 23rd of March. Since then, international and local flights have been limited to essential services. But after a review of the coronavirus pandemic, government says the Port Harcourt Airport and 4 others in the country will now reopen. Safety, however, remains top priority amidst efforts to get the economy back on track. Ahead of June 21st resumption date, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria is expected to release an updated standard operating procedure to reflect the current reality. The document will not just regulate the activities of the airport, but also that of the airlines. New social distancing measures at the airports include floor markings indicating where passengers are to stand while on a queue. A new sitting arrangement has been put in place to create space between passengers at the waiting lounge as well. And that's it on the news update for Wake Up Nigeria. Welcome back. Now, it's been quite an eventful day so far on Wake Up Nigeria, but there's still more. We have with us Awobusui Abayomi, a visual artist who has participated in numerous exhibitions, workshops, and competitions. Now, symposiums around the country, he's also been there. He's a member of the She-Up Cycling Creative Association and an ambassador of Street Projects. Now, I have to say welcome to the show, Abayomi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Now, I saw some images of some things you've done in the past, and it
Yes.
gives me the idea of you using mixed media. Can you tell me a little bit about the mixed media you use for your art?
Good morning. My name is, I work with found waste material, joining it with my paintings. I use Ankaras, plastics bottles, combining it together to form an artwork and a single art piece. So it's called mixed media, using different material to create one artwork. So I make use of waste materials and little paintings to form my artwork.
So where do you source for these materials from? Because, you know, I know that if you want to buy paint, you go to the paint and art store, but you're using waste materials. So where do you get those waste materials from?
Yeah, majorly I get them from my environment, my nearby, some from my neighbors. Sometimes I go to the dustbin to pick some waste materials, Ankaras, plastic bottles, covers, washing them to form an artwork.
Mm.
Because anytime I see those waste, it inspired me to create more works through it.
Okay. So now there must have been a first time when you decided, you know what, these waste products could be used for art. Do you remember that first time you ever used waste products for art? Tell us about that time.
The first time it's just like I started with the use of single plastic. Using where it's just a very thin plastic who gingered me up to create. Then I started my first artwork from waste is a plastic Christmas tree. That was 2014. I started using waste plastic bottles, combining them to form a Christmas tree. Then I joined them with light lane.
Okay. All right. I'm so glad you're able to share this with us. Now, those plastic bottles, you know, a lot of people don't see them the way you see them. But how do you go from seeing it as just a bottle to now seeing it as a piece of art? How do you know where to put the bottle caps? How do you know where to put, you know, the body? Where do these messages come from? Can you explain how you're thinking when you're making this art?
That is true now. Majorly, first thing that I do first is seeing the plastic. Then because I look at the plastic bottle, the waste, look it seriously. Then it communicates to me that okay, by so side of this plastic can form a face. Some can form a woman being a figure. So I get my sketch pad, sketch some part of the plastics, then add some little colors on it. So I started gathering my creative ideas by sketching and adding some colors on it. Yes.
There's an art piece behind you there. It looks a little bit like a kind of like a cowrie shell. Am I right? It looks like a big cowrie shell.
I titled it Ajay. It's titled Ajay, which means cowries in Yoruba. They call it cowries, but it represents Ajay.
Okay.
This is from a bath, my mother's bath.
When you say bath, like a plastic bowl?
I convert it. Yeah, like plastic broken bath.
Wow.
So she wanted to throw it away. So I said, Mommy, no, I need to use this bath. So I started sketching, then I burnt some part of it to give me this work titled Ajay.
So now you've moved from paintbrush to burning something. So how did you burn it? Did you use open fire, kerosene stove? What did you use to burn it?
I use open fire. Sometimes I gather some wood together. I light it with matches, then a little kerosene to manipulate those plastics together.
Okay, so
it forms all this kind of.
So you're taking me back in time to when we used to have all these DK that used to go down. I don't know if they still do that DK job.
So this is a creative DK.
But I can see that you painted it too. So what sort of paint did you use in that piece behind you?
I use acrylic.
Acrylic.
I use acrylic, but before using acrylic, I texturize it because so that for lasting long. I use acrylic paint.
I was going to ask you that too, because how long would this artwork last?
And there is a motif, African motif, that relates with the works. African motifs, yes.
All right, I'm so pleased to have seen, you know, especially that particular one behind you. I really like that one behind you there.
Yeah, thank you so much.
The African motif is beautiful. I love the color, and I appreciate your passion. And thank you so much for being such an ambassador. And I have a feeling you're training other young people to do this as well. Am I right?
Yes. Yeah, I do that. I do that at Ebute Meta, Yaba.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks so much for joining us. And please make sure you send one artwork our way one of these days so we can have one, maybe have one in the studio. Can't wait to see it.
Okay, I will do that.
All right, so thank you. Thank you so much, Abayomi, for that. There's something else I wanted to share. Now, children's wears have taken a drastic turn from what they used to be. And now they boast of being an array of beautiful collections. Our very own went to a designer who specifies in children's clothing. You really want to watch this.
Kiddies fashion is taking a whole new dimension in Nigeria today. Parents are now paying more attention to their kiddies style, and I am so here for it, people. Fashion designers are creating beautiful looks, and Oluwaseun Olukoya is a creative director of Wonder Child for Kids. Her unique style is to make every young girl's dream of becoming a princess come true. Hello, Miss Sheol.
Oh my God. It's nice to meet you once again.
Same here. I love what you are doing, and I told myself that I was going to come here and invade your workspace.
You're welcome.
Oh, nice. So this is where all the magic happens.
Yes, exactly. Welcome to where I make all the magical dress in the world.
Ah, nice. What inspires every design that you make?
Okay, first of all, I would say my daughter, because I started sewing this ball dress basically 2 years ago. I made for my daughter, and then everybody saw it and they actually liked it. So, and also all this cartoon we watch, Sophia the First,
Elena,
everything, you know, it also inspires me because that's where you get to see more of these ball dresses.
What are the tools you work with?
Basically, my scissors, my chalk, my office pin, and this is also the tool. So this is what I always use in making the down part of the dress, the volume, the ball. Yeah, exactly. This is what I use. I also use, this is the interlining, because most times for us to make the ball dress very big, very voluminous, we need to put a lot of ad net into it, and then the ad net can be uncomfortable.
I've always wondered. Every time I see your design, I'm always wondering, is that child comfortable?
So for it to be very, very comfortable for the child, we use this as the interlining for the kids, so their skin doesn't touch the hard net, and so it makes it more comfortable for them to wear. So I also make use of the sequins material. You can see how shiny this is. I use a lot of fabric. Yes, I actually use a lot of fabric, from damask to sequins to laces to bridal satin. A lot of fabrics actually, depending on the theme I want to work with. So right now, I told you before that I'm making a dress for 1 year. So now this is the fabric I'm going to be using for my upper bodies. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out the upper bodies. Okay, yeah, you're my student for today,
Yes,
so you're
welcome.
welcome.
I am your student for today, and I'm
So,
ready to learn.
exactly.
Just in case I decide to open a kiddies business tomorrow, guys, make sure you patronize me.
Okay, no problem. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. The hardest part of making the ball dress is attaching the skirt part.
The
because,
tool, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because of the volume. See, so we have to move to my machine
Oh,
to show
great.
you how I'm
Oh,
going to do that.
fantastic.
So basically this is the tool, fabric. So for me to gather the fabric together for the skirt parts, so I use my needle and thread together because this is more faster than me using the machine. So I actually detected this myself. So it's quite easy for me. So this is what I do. I put the needle in, I bring it out like this. Like this is quite easy. Let me bring this one out. Then you can also do. So you have to stick it in here.
Here?
Yeah, exactly. And you bring it out. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I hope I'm doing it right.
Yes, we're doing the right thing. Exactly. So can you bring it out? So you can see how we've been able to gather the two. So this is what we're going to do till we get to the end of it. So this is the one we've gathered here. You can see it's already looking like a skirt. like a ballerina skirt already.
I love
so now I'm going to be attaching this to the upper bodies of the dress. So this is just what I'm going to do now. So this comes first, this will stay under, and then this one is coming on top of it. Yeah, exactly. So this is what I'm doing. So I'm going to keep pushing it in. Actually, the major challenge in the fashion industry is funds. Yes, funds. Then electricity.
So tell us what this face
Okay,
is about.
for the upper bodies, I decided to play with a lot of things. You can see pearls, you can see stones. So I decided to, jazz it up a little bit with stones and pearl. You can see the feathery details on the sleeve. Yeah, so it adds more, beauty to the dress. So now this is the last part of the accessories. I'm going to be adding flowers.
Okay.
I call this 3D flowers.
3D flowers.
Yeah, yes,
okay.
beautiful ones.
Ta-da! And our dress is ready. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is really nice. So this is the final face, yes?
Exactly.
Great. So now we're going to see it on our model. Of course, somebody has to wear this pretty dress. We didn't just make it for fun.
Yeah, sure.
You can tell that she already feels like a princess, don't you, darling? You do, right? Look at all the hard work. And that's it for today. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.
Welcome back. Now, this is one of my favorite parts of the show. We get to talk to a celebrity. We have Olakira online standing by right now. Now, he's a composer, producer, songwriter, and a singer. Someone who plays many musical instruments, and he came onto the scene with two great singles, Hey Lover and Flirty Signal. Now, his genre of music is Afro-pop, pop, and R&B. Olakira, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning.
How's it going? Good morning.
Yeah, I'm good, I'm good.
It seems like we caught you in the studio. You're still in the studio right now, yeah?
Yeah.
Were you recording
That's
overnight?
the best place to be, That's the best place so far.
Were you recording
I like
overnight?
to spend my time in the studio.
Okay.
You said what?
Were you recording overnight?
Yeah. Yeah, for real. I did the night section.
All right. So I can see that for the fact that at this time of the day you're in the studio, it shows that you put a lot of energy into making music work. It says in your profile that you play quite a lot of musical instruments. Can you share with us the instruments you play?
Yeah, I play major instrument like terms of keyboard, guitar, trumpet, saxophone, drums.
Wow.
Those are the major instruments I play.
So do you play the backing sounds for all your songs? Since you can play all those instruments, you play all those sounds for your songs?
Like you said, you said something earlier. I said I've been really busy. Like I don't know how you know I've been busy, but for real, like it's something easy when you produce your song yourself sometimes, and you write your song, you record your song yourself, and sometimes you mix your song yourself. So it's more like, it's just me. That's just who I am. So I can't hide the fact that I know how to produce or I know how to mix. Sometimes I do mix my song. Yeah. So I do. Sometimes I even do everything in one, like just me doing everything at once. So I spend more time in the studio. That's just something about it.
It's so obvious that you're multi-talented. If you can mix and you can produce, you can also play all those instruments on your own, and of course write songs and compose your own music. I think you're a star. And one thing I want to say is, I saw in your profile that you started out working at a gospel music store. So how did that happen? You want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, I think most musicians, sorry to say, I think most of us grew up from church, you know. We brought up from church. I started as a musician, instrumentalist. Yeah, I started as an instrumentalist in church. I started playing musical instrument in church. Then at the point I started, you know, writing songs, and then I had to go to studio to, you know.
It seems like something's blocking the screen at this point. I think there's a hand on the camera. You might want to shift.
Oh, sorry
it.
about that.
No problem.
Sorry
Go
about
ahead.
that.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
What I do most times is I just program on my keyboard in church and sing. So I just thought, okay, let me take this more, you know, more in an advanced way. So I went to studio to record the song. I can remember then. That's how I started, you know, singing.
Okay, okay. Now, I know that the industry is not an easy place to find yourself in, especially at a time like this where it feels like it's saturated with so many great, talented people. What's your plan to make sure you stand out? What's your plan?
Yeah, actually, you know, I do more those days. I've been singing for a while though, and then I do R&B. So right about now, this particular period we have right now, everything is changing somehow. Afrobeat is really taking over. So what I do is I do Afrobeat and infused with R&B, and I think that makes me more kind of like unique. And that's just my sound. And I like involving jazz, you know, jazz like saxophone, and some, you know, live instruments in my song, in my sound as a whole. So I just felt like that's what makes me, you know, unique in my own way. I just don't want to do the normal thing everybody's doing. Even if I'm going to do something normal, like there should be something that makes you unique, makes you outstanding, you know, among all. So Afro beat, jazz, R&B. That's what I'm trying to find.
All right. Now, I know that most musicians like you are more expressive through their songs, through their writing, but this has been a journey of over 8 years. That's a long time. Just share one of your lessons, one of the lessons you've learned over the years, so that a young artist watching right now can hear you.
Yeah, I like this question you asked. It's a very nice question. I already gave up on singing at the point because I started as an artist, you know, started writing songs. When I fell in love with production, then I went into production fully. Then at a point when nobody was, you know, before I went to production, I was trying to like drop my song, but nobody was there for me. And it's not really easy out there. There's competition right now, you know. So I had to just go into production fully. So what I do is write songs for people. Then I said I'm not going to sing again. I stopped singing for like a while, for years.
Wow.
Then when this opportunity came up, I had to grab it. So what I'm just trying to say is, no matter how far, no matter how, you know, the distance, what you've been passing through, you just have to believe in yourself and keep trying. There's time for everything in life. Because I never believe I'm still going to like, you know, go into this fully as professionally.
I can see. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Olakira there. And there's a music video we need to show everyone. Congratulations on releasing this, and some other tracks we know are about to come out. Much love, man. Much love.
Real.
Baby, you're my melody, yeah. You are the one I saw.
And as you can hear the drums, you can hear the trumpets, the saxophone, you can hear the guitar in that particular song. Most likely, once or twice, he probably played some of those instruments on his own during the production. That's a lot of work. Big shout out to Olakira for that one. Beautiful, colorful video as well. We also have to say a big thank you to all our lovely viewers. And of course, we need you to stay safe. So make sure you wash your hands, take your mask with you. Even if, you know, someone tells you, yeah, COVID, don't go, it hasn't gone yet. It'll go soon, but not yet. Take your mask with you, and of course, wash your hands as much as possible. Make sure you stay safe, and join us again from 6 a.m. tomorrow, right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Mwah.